I'm not even joking when I tell you I had to take painkillers last night to finally master this innocuous-looking game. Ape Escape is new to me, and what is on the surface a straightforward and balanced achievement set made me become a mentally deranged 30-something at 2 AM last night. The last achievement was about as enjoyable as having a septic tank back up on you, to then discover no one can come out and help for a week, then realising you're out of cleaning products, and you have no spare towels and have to deal with it by hand, and while you do so, your dog jumps into the bath, then has zoomies all over the house. On Christmas friggin' Day! And breathe. They say one bad apple doesn't spoil the bunch, and while that's true here, the last achievement in this set did take a little shine off an absolutely wonderful game. This one achievement is by far the most unenjoyable and frustrating nightmare of an experience I've had since joining RetroAchievements, the awesome website that lets you earn achievements in all your favourite old games. A couple of people on the website actually broke their controllers trying to achieve it, and my partner worryingly came to check on me after hearing me punching the sofa repeatedly. You have been warned. If you played Astrobot on PS5, you'll have no doubt experienced a level based on this superb series. In June 1999, Sony's Japan studio unleashed Ape Escape into the wild, the first game requiring the dual analog sticks on Sony's then new controller. It was incredibly well received by critics and gamers alike, garnering universal acclaim on Metacritic and selling over 1 million, which is no slouch when you consider a separate controller purchase was needed to even play it. Ape Escape's achievement list for PS1 features 68 achievements for a total of 600 hardcore points. Of these, 7 are related to story progression, 29 are for 100%ing the game, 21 are related to time attacks, 9 are related to minigames, and 2 are miscellaneous. Thankfully, nothing is missable. Featuring a totally unique experience where the left analog stick is used for movement and the right is used for the game's gadgets, it's clear this was no simple gimmick, and the PSP remake, On the Loose, further highlighted how important having both analog sticks was to gameplay. Where 3D platformers were extremely commonplace at the time, Ape Escape really stuck out from the crowd, and even though the IP is dormant, I invite you to join me today on my journey to mastery. My plan for Ape Escape was simple: a first playthrough to the end unlocking all gadgets, followed by revisiting levels to grab the remaining monkeys and Specter tokens, then doing the time attacks, and finally ending with the minigames. The whole process took me about 23 hours, but I reckon those familiar with the game could do it in less than half that. Mini shout out to I am the 346 for suggesting today's video. If you love Ape Escape, let me know why in the comments, and please consider giving a like if you enjoyed this video. The game begins with best friends Spike and Jake racing to see the professor about his almost built time machine. Upon arrival, the professor and his assistant Natalie, a total cowbag you'll come to hate later, are tied up, and somehow Specter, a local amusement park's monkey with an emo fringe that reminds me of Mary, has escaped and donned an intelligence cap the professor had been creating. Specter gives all the park's other monkeys helmets and sends them through the time machine to different eras, and Spike and Jake get caught up in the process and sent through time themselves. The professor pleads for Spike to round up the monkeys so they don't rewrite time, and in a surprisingly adult twist, Jake is gaslighted into working for Specter.
We don't have time for celebrating. We've got to do something.
All right, Natalie, calm down. We begin with Fossil Field in the lost land of the dinosaurs. Things start off simple with a tiny area to get used to the controls. The strangest thing for me was getting used to the R1 button being the jump button, though it does become second nature quite a bit later on. The initial monkeys are trivially easy to capture, and within a few moments we unlock our first achievement, climbing the tree to grab the first Specter coin for Spellector 0. Cookies represent Spike's health, and 100 triangular chips collected awards an extra life. Gadgets are assigned to the face buttons, and moments later, after swinging the net like a minge flap, I finally bop the monkey for our second capture. Seconds later with the third, and we've beaten our first stage. Onto Primordial Ooze, and the professor has developed a water net granting the ability to catch monkeys underwater. A quick training round completed and we're away. As I failed to catch the first monkey, I instead headed for the next Specter coin. Moments later, and we've unleashed our water net to grab the first monkey. As I explore, I'm pretty impressed with the rain effect as well as the beautiful bold colours. The game almost looks PS2 in some places. After sneaking up to grab monkey 2, I failed jumping from a tree 3 times like a total jizz bucket. There is definitely a bit of input delay to adjust to in this game, and you'll see me fumble more than a few times early on. Eventually, I make it to grab the ledge and the next monkey. For some reason, just as I finish reading the sign, the final monkey practically falls into my arms. Our final Lost Land level is Molten Lava. I'm still getting used to the controls as the monkey gives me the slip, but I managed to thwack him in the face to score my first catch. Moments later, I'm behind the waterfall for monkey 2, and I take the platform to grab grab a few more chips before slashing the Natsuns and making my way to the top. I grab the next Specter Coin before proceeding to the pterodactyl's nest. Enjoy as you watch another pro gamer moment. What a moron. Not only do I fail to catch the monkey, but like the village idiot, I also get taken into the air before eventually nabbing him. At least there's no time limit yet, so my mishaps don't matter. I'm advised in the next room to hit the T-Rex and make a dash for it, but instead I round up the remaining chips before giving Monkey 4 a rude awakening and unlocking the prehistoric era for finishing Lost Land. As we continue, the levels will get much more expansive. Before the next level, I briefly returned to Fossil Field as I'd intended to see if I could grab the last monkey, but he was too high up. So instead I finished collecting my first 100 chips, unlocking extra life before exiting the level. We're already in the mysterious age, and before Thick Jungle we get the Monkey Radar, which is a seriously important piece of kit instrumental in our journey. We're granted another brief video with Oscar-worthy acting.
What? He's that cute little monkey that everyone loves to come and see? But how?
Well, Dead-Eyed Natalie, I'm glad you asked. Specter pops in.
I plan to rule the world.
And the professor explains.
It's true that the peak point helmet will augment your intelligence to heighten levels when it's worn.
Before Specter bangs on about changing history and yada yada melodrama. Jake shows up.
Somehow he's been brainwashed and he's being controlled by Specter.
Probably got some tips from this fine melt.
I'm in control.
Yep, sounds just like her. Onto the stage, and I put the Monkey Radar to use before staging another insanely bad monkey rescue. Twice getting eaten by the giant plants before eventually catching him. Moments later, I seek monkey number 2 before walking directly into the path of another plant and, getting shot to blunder catch 3. What a nincompoop. You know, now I watch this back, you'd be forgiven for thinking that I was drunk while playing. In the next area, I quickly discover an unobtainable monkey as another gadget is needed, so I head back the way I came. The next area I discover also needs a gadget I don't have yet, so I continue on to the only other area accessible from here. I use the radar and hit L2, as this allows us to not only scan and find the monkeys, but also see their bios, showing not only info about each one, but also giving us an idea on how hard they are to catch. The camera view gives another clue to the location. We're introduced to a boat now, which is steered with each analog stick controlling one oar. Cue me making hilariously slow progress as my brain struggles to get used to the idea. Moments later, I manage to miss this giant wheel that opens the gate by going straight past. Oops. After making my way back, I smack and catch Monkey 4, and eventually my brain kicks out of sleep mode and I open the gate using my stun club and swim over to Monkey 5. Finally, in the last area, I head towards the camp to score monkey number 6. Our second Mysterious Age stage is Dark Ruins. The level design is starting to open up, making the monkey search a more enjoyable process, though unfortunately the draw distance in the game is pretty short, which hampers the sense of scale. I begin by killing the onion. Why an onion? Not a f***ing clue, but why not, I guess. Next, I grab a few more chips before spending a daft amount of time chasing this speedy monkey who is clearly too fast for me. Instead, I switch tactic and resort to sneakery, which works wonders. Next, I target Kenny, but after crawling across the floor for ages like a cretin, I realize he's higher up, and instead I continue on, navigating some platforms before spanking Monkey 2. Navigating jumps like this will become easier later on thanks to another gadget, and moments later the game has a hint for me. Really? There's a switch next to a door. I wonder what it does. It opened the door. Well, isn't that a surprise? I definitely needed a hint for that one. Thanks for the tips, Huns. Inside, I take the lift and scan Runt. Then, I dive for another Specter Coin and get ready to try stealth before swinging my net and scoring Monkey 3. Keep an eye on alcoves like this because the rock monkeys are ready to pounce and they rarely miss. After exiting the area, back outside, and I entered the building I crawled around earlier. We're given another hint. Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. And I sneak up to bag Monkey 4. I use my stun club to kill the little splitters and make my way across to the next door. I sneakily swat Kenny, and with just one monkey left, I use my unexplained superhuman strength to push this gigantic concrete block as if it was made of card. This next area is a bit annoying as the game advises pushing both sticks to stay hidden. The problem is clicking both sticks is set up to open the achievements list, so there were times in the game where I'd accidentally open the menu. After having my ass handed to me a couple more times, I navigated this narrow platform before falling to my death. Eventually, I made it up top though for another Specter Coin. I then tried and failed to cheese my monkey approach before finally sneaking like Solid Snake to net the little bugger. Our last Mysterious Age level is Cryptic Relics, but before we enter we get another valuable gadget, the Sling Back Shooter. This little catapult allows us to make ranged shots and has 3 types of ammo. The explosive and homing ammo comes in handy later with the flying enemies and UFO flying monkeys. I first navigated the rotating platforms and headed to this giant block which needed shoving. This allowed me to sneak up on the first monkey. Next, I ignored the gigantic red button and headed back outside. After realizing my mistake and using the slingshot, I headed all the way back around ready to pounce on Basil. Basil bamboozled, I continued along the lower bridge before entering the door on the right. After using my trusty slingback, I stormed Monkey 3 and headed back to access the other door. This area is easy to clear with another gadget later on, but for now we shoot the button and sneak up on Monkey 4. Finally, spinning the club, I cornered this guy and killed the hotties. No, I don't think they're attractive, they're actually called that. Before capturing Monkey 5 to finish up unlocking the Cenozoic era for passing Mysterious Age. Before moving to the next period, it's time for a showdown with Jake. All was going swimmingly to begin with until this Molten Lava section where I accidentally destroyed Spike's poor arsehole. I gave it a couple more goes and was finally successful in winning, which unlocked Dimension X. But regrettably, I was 3/100th of a second too slow for the time attack achievement. Honestly, the camera is the biggest issue with these chases as you don't have time to fine-tune the perspective while racing. In finally winning, I had a nice surprise by unlocking Specter 1 as I'd reached 10 Specter Coins with the 5 I didn't realize I'd get for winning the race. Worth a ruined arsehole, perhaps? It was now time for Oceana and Crabby Beach, and Crabby is definitely what I became at the end of this set. Our next gadget is the Super Hoop, which means we now can run faster by rotating the analog stick. Honestly, I'm down for this as Spike's run speed is about as fast as a 3-legged sloth. There will be plenty of family-friendly puzzles tied to the hoop as we progress the game. Crabby Beach looks like a pretty decent place to hang out, with several monkeys waiting to be caught right away. We grab this unsuspecting fellow without him even waking up. Unfortunately, the game's engine does creak a bit here with some frame rate issues, but thankfully it's an isolated problem. A new type of door lock exists here, requiring you to catch 3 monkeys before it'll open. Thankfully, as they're just sitting around doing nothing, it's not exactly difficult to sneak up and grab the 2 more to unlock the door, and even a 4th just sat in the sand. Natalie gives us some more shockingly obvious advice before we make our way along the cliff. Just as I'm about to cross the bridge, this little shit moves from the button, making me fall. But it's fine though, as I notice the level Specter Coin and pick it up instead. I then make my way up to this little timed door puzzle and make use of the Super Hoop to get through in time, leading us to the monkey we saw high up earlier and finishing the stage. As we head to Coral Cave, we need 5 monkeys this time. This is another bright and colourful stage, but the sharks definitely need avoiding. I make my way into this cave and then get ready for input delay hell as I manage to pathetically crash into the water again and again. Not exactly John Nathan Drake. Eventually, I finally grab the first monkey before entering the next cave. After thwacking the Zookas and avoiding being shot at, I made my way across the moving water and up onto these ledges before scoring the second monkey. As we navigate, we're advised to keep an eye on monkeys with red pants as they are particularly aggressive. I next shot the target before attempting to drop down to the turret monkey below. I had a good go, but unbeknownst to me, a later gadget is required for this monkey. However, I fortuitously landed in the water right next to our next Specter Coin pickup. After giving up on Turret Monkey, I climbed the monkey pole I had just created and accidentally alerted him, but moments later he calmed down and I ran into that analog stick achievement screen issue. It's worth noting that you can change controller hotkeys. I was just being lazy as this is the only game that I've ever had a clash with. The softly approach didn't work anyway, and after taking one to the face, I got my club out and beat that monkey down to catch my 3rd of the stage. I climbed back down and across the water to the main cave area to continue my search. After some procrastination, I decided to head down the other main path, taking out the creepers as I went. When I reached the swinging obstacles, I bust out my Super Hoop to ensure I could catch the next monkey quickly before it had a chance to fly off. Just one more monkey to grab and I headed back through the water passage and up the ramp. Another clubbing of the wheel and a dash to the top, and this little bitch stopped me, so I catapulted it before heading back to try again. This time I made it and grabbed the monkey before he knew what had hit him. At this point, I was already totally addicted to spanking the monkey to the point where I just couldn't stop. No wonder I ended up with sore hands. The last Oceana stage is Dexter's Island. The titular creature is just waiting to be explored. After fanning about in the water and realizing I couldn't reach the boat, I did what all explorers do when they discover something new. I hit it to see what happens. To my surprise, Dexter's mouth opened for me to head inside. Thankfully, Dexter's stomach acid doesn't hurt Spike, so I could swim around without without worrying. This first monkey needs a later gadget to capture, and shortly after these tutors decimated me. With renewed vigor, I headed back up the giant ship in the middle to finally sneak up on and grab the first monkey, who I'm assuming was partially sighted given he couldn't see me from this close by. A big dive from high and I grabbed another Specter coin hidden beneath the shipwreck. Next up, I attempted to capture this armed monkey, which went about as well as this X Factor audition.
So tired of broken hearts and losing at this game before.
Before quickly giving up to explore more of Dexter's body, down to one hit left. I took this slide to be taunted by this currently unobtainable Specter coin before heading onto the next area to fight this spiked tentacle thing. I couldn't help but feel for poor Dexter at this point, being brutally attacked from the inside, weak and defenseless to stop Spike's internal assault on his body. In the next area, more swimming ensued and we entered this large area with monkeys for the taking. Firing at the monkeys here causes them to fall down for easy pickings. I used the super hoop to quickly breach the next door and spent several moments fumbling around, but eventually grabbed the final 3 monkeys, unlocking the primitive age for clearing Oceania. The next stage is Snowy Mammoth as we enter New Friesland and we need 5 of 6 monkeys rescued on stage 1. I think the snow effects here were particularly impressive for the time. Ape Escape managed to look so next gen at points, in 1999 of course, though the aforementioned draw distance and frame drops don't help. After climbing the monkey pole,
How very day.
I grabbed the stage's Specter coin before noticing this monkey behind the ice, easily snatched before moving on. I wasn't sure how to tackle the mammoth at this point, so I decided to continue on to the other monkeys. Making it past the bitter wind, I scanned Dengoy, who ate some yellow snow, nice, and used my club to lower the platform before nearly dying in the ice water. I grabbed some cookies only to then get hit by the blades on the way up repeatedly like a total klutz. I successfully scored Dengoy, monkey number 2, before being advised to destroy the propeller. Gladly, Professor. Next, I sneakily snuck to grab monkey 3 and then headed to the igloos to completely f*** up capture 4. I needed just one more, and without knowing I could have tackled the mammoth monkey from afar, I instead did what all explorers do, whacked the mammoth to see what happened. But unfortunately the monkey stayed put on his back. I even tried firing but didn't select the explosive bullets, and so the monkey's retaliatory shot killed me. I was so close yet so unaware. What a div. Seemingly easily defeated, I instead headed back up the large platform seeking the other lone monkey. Finally, I worked out how to reach him in a swift netting later and I was done here. Frosty Retreat is the next stage, but before that we unlock another totally fab gadget in the Sky Flyer. It's definitely one of the best in the game as it gives extra jump height and distance and the benefit of a slow landing. Frosty Retreat has this lovely pastel coloured skyline which looks way more detailed than the skyboxes of many games at the time. Our first task here is to head around to the other side of this little cave. After dealing with the freezer, the monkeys have nowhere to go and I easily snatch 1 and 2. I head out before realising I missed the Specter coin, so I doubled back to grab it. Inside the cave, I dispatch the bazookas and hastily catch monkey 3. The Skyflyer comes in handy here and we gingerly avoid the giant boulders, grabbing some more chips before making a truly epic fail up the slope, somehow getting bombed in the process. Finally, monkey 4 is captured with 2 to go. The flyer again comes in handy, grabbing the penultimate monkey, and we enter the next section ready to strike. After being stung by a jellyfish, I dive to grab the next Specter coin, and again I could have destroyed the UFO had I just changed ammo, but I only know that in hindsight. Instead, I continued on and up to navigate this narrow ledge, but the UFO was circling, which pissed me off, and somehow I worked out that I needed to change the ammo. The UFO down and the chase was on, and moments later, finally, Frosty Retreat was sloppily completed. Hot Springs is our final Friesland level, and first we scan Punky, who has violent mood swings. Sounds familiar? The first monkey in the bag I scanned again and slaughtered the snowman before heading up. The timing of the double jump and Skyflyer combo definitely takes some getting used to, and I found this level to be the most frustrating in the game. After heading underwater to grab the second monkey, I headed out for another attempt at the climb ahead. I wasn't aware at the time, but it's actually easier to take the ice bridge by jumping and using the sky flyer. There's something about the super hoop that just made me fall over and over. After the first bridge, we nab Monkey 3 before he has a chance to react, and then head around the corner and back outside to snatch the fourth. Get ready for a falling montage as I failed the climb more than a few times. What a bellend. It took me nearly 10 minutes to make it back up top, but finally I entered the hot spring and netted away a sweaty monkey before grabbing a Specter coin. Moments later, and loser swiped me before I swiped back to finish the level, unlocking the Ice Age. After the total embarrassment that was hot springs, I took a brief break armed with my trusty sky flyer and headed back to Fossil Field to grab the last monkey, unlocking Fossil Field Complete. Next, I went to Primordial Ooze and nabbed another monkey chillaxing before using my sky flyer to nab the final monkey here, earning me Primordial Ooze Complete for rounding up the last two monkeys. Molten Lava was missing 3 monkeys, and after using my sky flyer to get above the waterfall, I nabbed the next monkey before heading back to the T-Rex area. This time I tried shooting the monkey off the T-Rex, but after that failed, I did what all explorers do and whacked the T-Rex with my club before running away. This knocked the monkey down, allowing me to capture it. Finally, using my slingshot, I opened the door on the other side of the map and used the monkey's bombs to fire back at the Triceratops, causing the monkey to fall and ending the level to unlock Molten Lava Complete. Back to the main story now, and we enter Gladiator Attack, our next Dimension X race against Jake. After a few failed attempts, I came up with this run. Use the sky flyer without jumping at the start to save time. Be sure to jump partway through the slide to miss the gap, and then I'd advise centering the camera behind Spike for the narrow walkway. Time it so that you can jump to avoid the spiked back, then use the flyer to reach the next high platform. Next, double jump and hover down to the top step, then double jump and briefly hover over the next lava obstacles. Finally, single jump and briefly use the flyer for the last few jumps, and by the skin of my teeth, I made it to unlock Dimension X Revisited, along with Specter 2 for 20 coins and Speedy Spike Revisited for doing it in under a minute. Nice. Back on the main story, we next tackle Sushi Temple in the medieval mayhem era, where we need 7 monkeys this time. This level has annoying ninjas who fire shuriken stars and don't give cookies when defeated, so keep an eye out. 3 monkeys are huddled together near the start, but like a bull in a china shop, I managed to somehow miss all 3, causing them to scatter. Thankfully, after the monkey slapped me, I was able to sneak up on it below the temple for my first capture. I was able to crawl to the second monkey from here, and as I made my way around the outside of the temple, I noticed this Specter coin hiding in plain sight. I died trying to fight the NO, but this actually reset the third monkey's position, and like a sly ninja, this time I nabbed him. I tried and failed to get onto the roof several times. I really should have experimented with the slingshot more, and after giving up, I entered the well to the right of the main entrance. This area has a monkey that's pretty tough to nab. I headed around the side and caught his friend first, and eventually, after a lot of chasing round and round, I managed to catch him and made my way to the higher reaches of the area, jumping from pillar to ledge and using the high flyer to make my way across the top of the room, eventually using the vine and grabbing another Specter coin. At this point, I couldn't work out how to get the remaining monkey, so I headed back to the main temple. Several monkeys were chilling in here, and after grabbing monkey 6, I was killed by a Hanzo. After respawning and crawling about a bit, I finally got monkey 7 to end the stage. I needed another mini break after the temple, so next I decided to have a go at the first time attack in Fossil Field. The time limit of 30 seconds isn't as bad as it sounds, and after a couple of goes, this was my run. Use the super hoop to dash to the first monkey and bag him, then head to the second on the steps. As you can see, you don't need anything near a perfect run, thankfully. I then briefly used the hoop to dash to monkey 3 before netting him, and using the hoop, then the sky flyer to reach the final monkey high up, and with over 2 seconds to spare, I unlocked Fossil Field Time Attack.
I can't believe it!
Have faith, Natalie. Jesus Christ. What a witch. Wabi Sabi Wall is our next location, and we need to nab 8 monkeys. This one is pretty linear, so we start by heading off to the left for the first Specter coin in the level. That accomplished, we need to take the lift, which for some reason is armed with spikes. I can't imagine the general public would be too happy about that.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
As I scanned Zobro, I longed for more camera control as I blindly dropped down to eventually nab him. Next up, I headed back to the red rotating platforms to make my way across to the remote pillar to nab Monkey 2. Thankfully, there's a handy lift back to the main area, and with that, I made my way across the precarious rotating platform to head inside. Inside, it's a scramble to grab Monkeys 3, 4, and 5, who keep banging the drum to try and crush Spike from above. Once caught, a new staircase opens up and we can proceed, but first we nab the second Specter Coin. The next area features a giant rotating saw. This is probably the only kid-friendly game I've seen featuring such a horrific, torturous contraption that seems woefully out of place.
I want to play a game.
Thank God there's no blood. After using my sling back to open the door, I head around to the right to sneak up on Monkey 6, who's admiring the view. Hey, wait, what the f***? A while later, and we pass these logs to head inside. After downing a few chaipoos, we make our way to some more platforms necessitating the club and super hoop. All the way at the top, and the monkey guns me down, so I have to do it all over again. This time, I blow him up and grab him with one more monkey to go. As we make our way across the gap, we take the long way around and to the top, where a monkey jumps into a saucer and takes flight trying to attack Spike, but a few shots later and he's blown to smithereens and dealt with. Before tackling the final level in Medieval Mayhem, I returned to Thick Jungle to do some more cleanup work. In the second area, I headed across the water to grab another Specter Coin before shooting Mackie and getting eaten by a plant to finally grab him. I again navigated the river to head to the final area. After using my boat, I climbed the log to scramble for the next monkey. From here, I made a leap of faith to grab another Specter Coin before heading back up and around and past another log to fight this giant monkey-controlled tree. After seemingly not getting anywhere, I got this nearby hint from Natalie and so used my stun club to finally destroy it, releasing the monkey and grabbing him. After this, I used my radar to head towards the next area and managed to walk straight into the falling boulder like a stupid clunge before grabbing some more chips and shooting down the next monkey. Next, I attempted to explode the UFO but ran out of ammo and exited the level with 4 monkeys and 2 coins remaining. As you can see, I went into Ape Escape totally blind, hence the level hopping. Back to the main story arc, and in Crumbling Castle, we're told to go catch Specter. Crumbling Castle is a bit of a labyrinth, and after twatting some onions, I headed downhill to take the first monkey. I knew to get Robert next, I'd have to be careful, so I decided to try and flank him, but this didn't work, so I just violently attacked him instead. I wasn't too sure where to head next, so I returned and entered the main doors to the castle. Left was seemingly the only way to go, and I grabbed the next monkey near the bell tower. Next, I made a run for it to climb up and around the tower before gliding over and catching Monkey 4. A few chips later, and I glided down to get the 5th monkey, thus unlocking the main doors. Before heading back though, I wanted to see what was at the top of the tower, so I headed outside and grabbed the 6th monkey and activated a handy little staircase. I attempted to unlock this flashing box, not realizing I didn't yet have the tool for the job. Back inside, I headed through the now unlocked door. I managed to niftily grab the throne seat monkey from above before getting the 8th monkey from the chandelier. I continued around the castle to grab monkey 9 and the Specter Coin from this dead end before heading across to the other side of the room. A few steps up later and we're at 10 monkeys but still no Specter. I glided across to this door next to enter another big room, taking the slide and grabbing the monkey by the guillotine. Next, I used the Sky Flyer to reach the cell, grabbing the 12th monkey before gliding across to take the next slide and grabbing our 30th Specter Coin to unlock Spellector 3. After trying an absolutely ridiculous amount of times to slide and glide across to this little bugger, I finally managed it to nab the 13th monkey. Next up was a night fight, and after attempting to shoot him in the face, I finally realized backslashing worked. With him gone, the door was open to the next area. I spent the next few minutes wandering aimlessly around the next labyrinthian room before making my way into the water for monkey 14, but still no Specter. After grabbing some more chips, I emerged from the water for the 15th monkey tackle. Some more swimming, and monkey 16 wasn't much further on. This next section is pretty devious as the hitboxes on the spikes are bigger than the UK's deficit. As I attempted to cross, I was sure Specter had to be hiding behind such a dangerous entrance. The next room was filled with water and giant cogs, and after narrowly missing the next monkey, I gave chase. This little f*** shot rockets at me and disappeared, so instead I nabbed his mate for monkey 17. 17. After hitting another button unlocking an external door, I made my way to the next Specter Coin before determinedly hunting down the little shit who evaded me before. I finally got him in the pool, and after a lot more hunting around, I eventually found my way back outside and traversed the side of the castle to enter the door I'd recently opened. Spectre and Jake were waiting patiently inside, only to leave as soon as I appeared, with their parting gift being this giant knight. The knight is fairly simple to defeat, he just needs avoiding when he's imbued with electricity, as attacking him can shock Spike. After he is defeated, we unlock the recent past for clearing the medieval stages, and we're treated to a cutscene showing the monkeys invading the city with this unbelievably emotive performance.
Whoa, please help me!
Spike makes his way back to the professor's lab and finds no professor, but there is a video message. The professor tells us,
Spectre and his gang of apes swept in and have taken over the town. Spectre's built his base right in the middle of town. We're counting on you.
Hey, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Hold on.
it's time for our penultimate gadget, the RC car, or as I like to call it, the RC car. It's useful for scaring the monkeys and reaching areas Spike cannot. After the training, it's time for City Park, the first of the Futurama stages as we edge closer to Spectre. Now needing to also rescue the professor and, Natalie, can't we just let her die, please? As we begin the level, it's soon time to use the RC car to scare the living shit out of the monkeys, and in moments we're able to nab the first monkey this way. I spent the next couple of minutes trying to grab the high-up Specter coin, but I needn't have bothered as it can't be obtained until later. To grab our next monkey, we use the tree trunks to enter a little boxing area that's unusually tough for the general public to access. Moments later, after grabbing a few more chips, I made my way to creep up on Alcatraz, who relies on inner strength. Me too, buddy. What a wise little one, eh? Unfortunately, it was a trap, as this massive robot is waiting for us, but it's easy enough to destroy despite its wide reach. Next, we head underground through the newly opened entrance, and it's important to move quickly though, as McManic above is armed to the teeth. Our RC car comes to good use to open the door, and we quickly net Monkey 4 before being obliterated by this splitter in an embarrassingly quick fashion. I can tell you, chasing the monkeys with the RC car never gets old, as the fourth monkey runs straight into my path. A quick hop up the steps and around the corner, and again we need the RC car to hit the button so we can ascend. After running over the splitters, we use the RC car to grab another Specter coin and carefully drive to the button, which allows us to slide down to the aggressive monkey from before, nabbing our 6th of the stage. Now we have to head back around and into the massive pipe above the water, and in this next section, make sure that you have your Skyflyer available at all times. After using my radar, I managed to make it up top for the second Specter coin of the stage. Next, I sloppily hobbled and bumbled across to reach this large area of presumably wastewater. Following the chips takes us through to another small area, and make sure you hold boost because the timing is tight. I followed the monkey out of the water to net him and pressed the button, giving access to monkey number 8, and the stage was complete. We finally reached Specter's factory. I hope you like explosions, because this level starts off with a tank. Each side tread moves with the appropriate analog stick, so pressing up on both goes forward, up on left and down on right turns right, and so on. The tank also has a pretty nifty cannon. After exploding the wall, I take great pleasure in destroying the UFO so we can catch the first monkey. The tank's looking a little ropey, but don't worry, it does respawn if it gets blown up. I work my way through the stage, destroying everything in my path before being blown up by the monkey turret. After briefly trying my own offensive, I decided it's best to retreat and got another tank. After defeating the turret, the monkey got me, so I had to do it all over again. This time, I leapt out of the carcass of my burning tank to sort out Monkey 2. The slippery little bitch nearly ended me again, but with a boff on the head and he was mine. On to Area 2, and we reach a large room with a currently inaccessible centerpiece. Instead, it was time to bust out the RC car again, and so I set about driving and following it at the same time. I drove it to the button and took the steps before carefully driving across the bridge to press the next button. 2 more buttons to push, and I had to carefully cross the platform to grab the next Specter coin. Finally, I used the RC car as a distraction to grab the 3rd monkey. Now I had access to the earlier locked door, I continued onto this mini torture chamber. I crossed the lava and grabbed more chips before using my club to raise 3 platforms to climb above. Oh yay, swinging hammers and conveyor belts. With these done, I crawled in the next room time to swipe Monkey 4 before shooting down the patroller and activating the switch to lower the platform. Now it was time to use the club again and quickly grab the lift to cross the timed walkway to the next area. We're suddenly attacked by an ED-209.
13 Section 9. You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4, 3, 2, 1. I am now authorized to use physical force.
But thankfully, it's a simple case of attacking it again from behind to destroy its big battery butt. After it explodes, we grab the 5th monkey and exit the area. Next up, we have some wheels and spikes with huge hitboxes to deal with, and we lower this huge pipe to capture, ride, and deal with Monkey 6. Not taking any chances, I popped a homing cap in his ass before capturing him. I accidentally fell down to the lower area, but wasted no time dealing with more patrollers and going after another speedy monkey. It outran me, so I got my RC car out, but the f***ing little f***er didn't want to be caught. This chase was probably the toughest so far. This little monkey seemed to be one step ahead at every move. I even got out the super hoop, but the little shit just kept on running. I was now down to 1 hit 2, and moments later I was done for. I truly got owned there. Let me tell you, I was not going to let this little monkey shit get away with it, and so again I cleared the area of patrollers and got my car out. With a combination of super hoop and net, I missed, and then missed again, then finally caught the twat to end the level. I bathed in satisfaction after that catch, let me tell you. Our last level of Futurama is the TV tower, and we need to again go catch Specter. We enter the tower via the main entrance and start by dealing with the killer coils. After taking a brief dip and grabbing some chips, I quickly caught the first monkey. I scanned the second monkey and noticed it was behind the clock, but was initially unsure how to get to it, first trying my sling back. As I went back into the hall, I noticed a small gap and got my sky flyer out to net monkey 2, hitting the big button to drain the pool. After grabbing an elevator, I became briefly obsessed with trying to work out how to get the monkey below me before making my way to the water. Monkey 3 gave a bit of a chase but was ultimately too slow for me, and with that the elevator from before was opened. Before heading back, I used the boat to finally reach the 4th monkey who had taunted me earlier before making my way back to the elevator in the entrance hall. We're back in tank mode and we destroy the Cattons before jumping down to scan 87. He was easily caught, and a few chips later I headed back to the tank. I then used the tank's cannon to destroy the crates in the stage below. This freed the 6th monkey, whose capture was a breeze. I grabbed another Specter coin, then continued on in the tank. At this point I was faced with 2 options and I wasn't sure where to go next. I used the tank to destroy more blocks than the turret to grab monkey 7. I then decided to take the previously unlocked door. As I made my way across to the top of the tower, I'd reached Specter.
Ah! You're really starting to bug me!
You okay, hun? Pot kettle black, mate.
Yeah. And when we get out of here, you'll be sorry.
I just love Jake's total stonewalling here. I think everyone is fed up of her attitude. The cutscene ends and we have to face our biggest boss yet. This one actually took a few lives from me, but it basically boils down to several phases. Keep moving to avoid the rockets of the battle cruiser. Then it'll use its propellers and fire to try and destroy you. Both can be easily avoided by running towards it and using the sky flyer when necessary so as not to get burned. After this phase, a giant, bleedingly obvious green button appears as if to say, "Spike, thwack me here, babe," and doing so causes damage. The cycle will repeat again, only the next phase is flying saucers. These need to be quickly and carefully dealt with the club. A couple of hits destroys them. Again, the big green button will appear and it's time to strike. These cycles repeat, and sometimes the ship will fly in with the button exposed and an extra hit can be gotten if you're quick. But the ship also drops a bomb when this happens, so jump and hover to avoid the explosion. You can easily tell when the ship is nearly destroyed as it flashes red and has fire coming off it, and with a final hit it explodes like a sperm donor with a porn magazine. Before Specter tells us,
I'm not giving up that easily. I just had another brilliant thought.
Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people, so in any storm you're safest with a giraffe escort? No? Oh.
So I have to run now, but I'll see you later. You can be sure of that. See ya!
Yes, like a turd that just won't flush, it isn't over just yet, and with that we unlock the present day for clearing Futurama. On to Specter Land and Monkey Madness, but first a brief monologue from Specter.
This is all about payback.
You've ruined my plans one too many times. You've captured some of my soldiers, and in return, I've decided to take your little friends.
Actually, only one of them is my friend, Specter.
I've hidden the professor and Natalie somewhere in the park, and it's your job to find them before something terrible happens. Are you ready for the ride of your life?
I don't think you're going to beat Nemesis from Alton Towers, Specter. Here we go again with the Go Catch Specter. Specterland is split into several sections, and we begin with Westernland. After using the Sky Flyer to reach the top of the first building and grab the first monkey, I had a look around and noticed a Specter coin, so immediately climbed the nearby pole to jump and fly across to it. That done, I headed to Western Hotel, which is basically a gallery shooter. The monkeys at the top, when shot, fall down and they need to be quickly nabbed before they retreat. The first one made a run for it, then shot me before I was able to tame him. 2 more to go, and the little bastard made it back inside before I had a chance to get him, so I tried again. This time I shot and snatched the leftmost monkey before making another failed attempt at the remaining asshat. 3rd time's the charm though, and with a faster swoop I nabbed asshat number 4. Next we go to Coaster from Hell. The aptly named Terror Coaster is about as fun as eating glass while listening to Justin Bieber. Because the coaster is so fast and the draw distance is so poor, you barely have any time at all to react to the barricades that need jumping over. There's also 2 Specter coins to collect. As you can see, I crashed and burned quite literally at first. Final Destination 3, anyone? The first jump is immediately after the first right turn. As the left turn ends, jump again, and then moments later, as soon as you see the hazard signs, make a 3rd jump. Over the next bump and you'll see hazards at jump 4. After this, the coaster will swing around to the right, and as it does so, jump again. You'll go uphill and can jump to grab some chips if you wish. You'll next swing quickly to the left and need to jump as soon as you see the lava. You'll go uphill to pass under a stone archway, and then you will make a sharp right. Don't press anything here as the Specter coin is in the middle of the track. Immediately after you collect it, you'll make a right and have to jump again, and you'll follow some water to the 2nd section. As the 2nd section speeds up, you'll loop around to the right to make 4 fairly evenly spaced out jumps, followed by a 5th as the track straightens out. You'll extremely quickly make another right and need to jump early to grab the next Specter coin and avoid another barricade. As soon as the track levels out from the next incline, jump again 3 times as the cart continues to turn right. You'll then head into a monster's mouth before dropping straight down. As soon as you're level, jump again and you'll do a brief uphill before turning right to end the ride. What an absolutely atrocious, badly designed dumpster fire that was. Moments later, we see Natalie.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, don't just stand there. Get me out of here! Will you hurry up?
With an attitude like that, Natalie, frankly, I think you can f*** off. It's a shame I have to save her, really. There's no way to leave her behind. That level of rudeness won't get you that far in life, Natalie. You'll be scrubbing toilets at this rate. The haunted house has ghosts and a giant knife. The ghosts can easily be taken out with your club, though. I have to confess, I didn't listen to Natalie's whining, so after running around a bit and grabbing Specter Coin 4, I ended up by Monkey 5, and as it hit the button, I used my RC car to scare it to me. This isn't the way the game intends, as you'll see in a minute. A little further back from here, you need to attack this door and bash all the pots on the way through to kill the ghosts. This pathway leads you to the room where the monkey was before, and by pressing the other button, we can raise the water to proceed. After crossing the platforms, we're in the same room as Natalie and need to grab the monkeys as they leave the coffins while dealing with the ghosts. I managed number 6 and a few moments later the 7th, and then the 8th, which saved our sourpuss.
Ow, hey! Couldn't you bring me down a little more gently?
Only the best for you, Natalie.
That's the thanks I get? Hope you didn't hit your head too hard.
You tell her, Spike.
Oh, what have you been doing all this time?
What a moody, cantankerous little she-devil. You know, we only went and saved your f***ing life. Spike's face says 1,000 words here, eh? We take the cart back to the beginning with thankfully no bullshit action in between, and I decide to head down the stairs to see what's happening. After taking a moving platform and then heading underground in this mini arcade lies Monkey 9. Our next section is Specter Circus, and we find the professor.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine. How are you? Are you okay?
Now there's a decent attitude. What the f*** happened to your granddaughter, Professor? We're now tasked with making our way to the top of the cage to get inside and stage our rescue. This bit isn't too bad, though the inertia feels a little off on the bouncing platforms. It's best to shoot the balloons before they can get near to Spike. After screwing up a couple of times, I made it across the poles and to the top to be greeted with this rather strange clown. We simply have to jump and hit him without being hit by his giant ball. After a fair few shots, the clown is down and we can jump inside to save the Professor, but first we have round 2 versus the clown, who will now roll at you and need needs to be hit when he's giddy. With him defeated, the professor gives Spike a true welcome.
The true power is inside of you, Spike. You've grown, you've learned a lot, and you've truly become stronger.
Ah, shucks. Thanks, Gramps. The professor heads back to his lab and we next enter the go-kart area to face Jake. I was down to just 2 lives left at this point. Thankfully, the game saved my progression in the level thus far, as moments later Spike was on his last health and so was Jake. But he got me and this happened.
Be careful next time.
Oh, for f***'s sake, Natalie, just bog off. Before continuing in the game, I decided I needed another break, so I headed back to thick jungle and made my way across the ravine from earlier with my Skyflyer. I opened the gate to grab Gonzo, then tried to work out where Zanzibar could be. I checked all the walls before finally realizing I could pass through the vines. I then managed to sneak up on Alphonse. I still couldn't quite work out where to go to get Zanzibar though, until I finally took a leap of faith off the side to see a platform on the cliffside. Finally, after getting Zanzibar and another Specter Coin, we unlocked Specter 4 for collecting 40 Specter Coins. With just 1 monkey left to find, I returned to the starting area, and after several attempts, I finally jumped far enough to grab the Specter Coin that had been taunting me. The last monkey was the UFO flyer from earlier, and after shooting that shit down, I snatched the last monkey to finish the level, unlocking Thick Jungle Complete. Oh yeah. I next headed back to Dark Ruins, where I was missing 7 monkeys and 2 Specter Coins. A little while in, and I got destroyed by a onion. Oh, I'll never live that one down. I used my Skyflyer to grab the monkey at the start and moments later used my Skyflyer again to jump the wall into the ruins for the second monkey this visit. I headed inside and used the narrow ledges to climb the wall, and moments later I captured Mav. Back outside again, and I climbed the tower to grab the next Specter Coin before briefly searching around, then heading inside to search for more monkeys. I used my Skyflyer to cheese my way to the next Specter Coin before using the slingshot to dispense the next monkey right to my net. I then got stuck trying to work out how to get the next monkey, but I wasn't aware the flashing panel can only be destroyed later. Just as I'd given up, the monkey hit the button and I thought I would die, but instead I slid into a secret passage, taking an elevator to catch the little shit. That was dangerous, mate. Next I had to cross the huge pillars again to head inside to the next section. I took the elevator down to explore the underground section again. Those rock monkeys are a real pain in the ass. Moments later, like an idiot, I fell to my death. Eventually, I rounded the corner to sneak upon Chino, but like a flash of lightning, he was gone and the chase was on. I followed him, narrowly avoiding his rockets, but another corner later and he hit me. I followed him back around and ever so carefully crawled along the floor, but the prick heard me and shot off more rockets before running off. Around we both went yet again and he hit me with more rockets. I just couldn't seem to get close enough. Another dose of rockets and I was dead again. My previous approach clearly hadn't been working, so this time I got near and I entered the water and swam underneath, emerging and swooping at the same time, and finally, I got him. Only 1 more left to find, and the radar was pointing me to an as-yet unsearched area. I used my Skyflyer to gracefully glide across, grabbing an extra life and entering a fiery totem pole room. At first, I tried to melee, but as the totems got faster, I retreated to shoot them from a distance instead. With the totem pole finally destroyed, a sarcophagus opened, and inside lay the final monkey. With that one last sweep, I ended the level, unlocking Dark Ruins Complete in the process. I next decided to spend a little time grinding for lives, and I quickly decided Thick Jungle to be the best level for this. This is because there's so many chips about, and also enemies that drop loads of them too. In about half an hour, I managed to grind to 15 lives, which I considered enough to go back and tackle Specterland again. With renewed enthusiasm, I took on Jake again. Jake's car fires lots of small RC cars at Spike, which need to be destroyed quickly as they can round on him, depleting his health before you know it. He will then try to drive into you, and surprise, you can jump over and poke his big green button to damage him. At least they made showing the obvious consistent. Once this has happened a few times, you'll start to see thick black smoke coming from the vehicle. At this point, you'll start getting rockets fired at you as well, but these can be easily avoided. As the car is near death, it will flash and start to give off flames. With a final smack to the back, Jake is literally catapulted into the air. When he lands, he's knocked out, and after Spike shaked him a bit too vigorously, Jake says,
"Oh, this is so weird. I don't remember. I can't remember what I've been doing.
After a moment of friendly bonding, we hear Specter ask,
"Why don't you join me and we'll conquer the world together?"
Obviously not gonna happen, but we do have to find him to end the shenanigans. With the center of the park now open, we head inside. In true evil genius fashion, and in the most elaborate of ways, the castle literally takes off with a massive laser attached. Heading into the middle crater unlocks a teleport up to the castle, and after grabbing some chips, we finally get our next Specter coin out in the open. We enter a giant engine room of sorts, and a monkey hits the emergency button, and after using our slingshot, we're able to access and pounce on him. Before leaving this area, we make our way up to grab another Specter coin. As we exit back outside, we're greeted with yet another UFO, which we easily shoot down to grab another monkey. Next, we destroy the other UFO and narrowly avoid being shot to death before grabbing some cookies and capturing Monkey 3. This level is becoming really epic soon, as you'll see shortly. It's probably one of the most elaborate levels I've played before a final boss, and it just feels so massive. It evokes similar feelings to when I entered Scrap Brain Zone on Sonic the Hedgehog's Master System version a whole 32 years ago. Honestly, this game has been a wild ride so far, and while it took me a laughably long time to get used to the controls, it's absolutely now one of my favourite PS1 platformers. After killing the mecha nutcases, we head up the steps and into the first room on the left. It's time to whip out the RC car so we can head through the next door. The other button opens a door elsewhere, which I missed first time round, so we'll worry about that one later. I head up the steps to realise it's blocked off, so I faceplant the floor to head through the monkey door. The next bit is a real pain in the ass, so get ready. It's impossible to glide across without first triggering the wheel below. For some weird reason, it lengthens the monkey's eyes as a platform, but you have to get to it really quickly. After a fall, I was ready to try again. Thankfully, I made it on the second try without actually using my super hoop this time. I nabbed another monkey before he had time to run away and hit the switch to turn off the electric fence from earlier. Before leaving the area, I attempted to get monkey number 5, which turns out to be the hardest for me to catch yet. If he wasn't shooting at me, he was bombing the RC car, and it seemed nothing allowed me to even get near him. Finally, after trying for about 5 minutes, my RC car hit him just as I was able to swoop down and catch him. It's finally time to move on. This next section is also a royal pain in the backside. There's an extra life placed perfectly to replenish you after every fall. We're introduced to rocket chimpanoids, which will stalk you shooting lasers. If you have explosive ammo, that's your best option, but without, melee hits are harder to pull off. After being repeatedly electrocuted, I headed back for some cookies before attempting again. Next, we're faced with another narrow walkway, and I managed to die right at the end like a total buffoon. Second time around, I made it and continued on, but was faced with fighting more flying enemies with no projectile strong enough left, and so the tactic became trying to coax them near me so I could whack them. I briefly stopped off to jump over and grab another monkey. Moments later, and another mistimed step, and I was dead again. Oh bollocks. This cycle repeated a few more times before I finally made it up deathless. As before, I tackled the initial enemies, and after some fighting, I was able to move onto the electric fence and the narrow ledge. I made it again to the red area for my next battle before continuing on past the conveyor using the moving platform to the green section. After fighting yet another chimpanoid on the slope, I was finally able to move past the next electric fence, killing the next enemies and reaching the 7th monkey this visit. I continued to try and fight the chimpanoid, but chased it up the slope and finally made the door to the next area. Oh look, another life at the start of a long and arduous platforming section. We're not far from the level's end now though, and after destroying a couple more patrollers, I completely f***ed up my jump across the first rotating platforms. The next set isn't too bad, just avoid the spiked ball and another double jump and sky flyer, and we're up to the next bit. Spotting another monkey, I briefly took a detour to collect monkey 8. The next platform can be frustrating. Using the RC car, we have to raise the platform, then drive it to another button to extend the platform out. After a fail, I managed it my second try to grab the next monkey and Specter coin. I headed back across to the other side to avoid a random moving bar and shoot the next button up high. I then just managed to navigate the moving steps, and my buttocks clenched there for a moment. After crossing another narrow platform, these two moving trampoline things are just shit. They don't exactly behave how I'd expect them to, and let me tell you, it's f***ing annoying to have to go through the same section over and over, but eventually I got it. My playtime on the castle section of Specterland was now over an hour. When I finally managed the trampoline platforms correctly and landed in the red section, I had a couple more patrollers to deal with before before the next puzzle, something between pong and air hockey. The aim was to move the paddle so the disc is deflected back and ride it up like so. Another elevator up and suddenly we're back in a fight again. I have to say, Specter definitely made this final Ninja Warrior style challenge worth it. This robot throws everything at you with a flamethrower, rockets and bullets all at once. With just one hit left, I finally beat him and could breathe a sigh of relief as I entered the next door. I smashed the button and rode the elevator back inside. That's right folks, it ain't over yet. Another hit and I died, but thankfully entering the door was a checkpoint, otherwise I'd be screaming. I failed to sneak up and so ran at the next monkey before killing a couple more mecha nutcases and continuing to explore. It was time for the RC car again, and having crossed the platform to press the button, I was able to sneak up on this pool playing monkey who then gave me the runaround before I could thwack and catch him. Finally, back to where we were before and we can enter the Specter door. We're treated to a dramatically long platform ride sped up for your convenience before being faced with Goliath, which according to the Ape Escape wiki is a recurring boss before Specter. Goliath is just sat there though, so we ride another lift to confront Specter himself. Paraphrasing, Specter says,
"Why don't you stop fighting me and join me instead?"
The acting shines here again as Spike replies,
No way! I won't be controlled by you!
Specter then attempts Crucio and Imperious, but Spike is having none of it, and after blasting him off his chair, it's time to face Goliath. Considering how long it took to make our way through the level to this point, you'll be relieved to know as final bosses go, this one is pretty trivial. We're treated to Goliath's point of view, and we have to run to avoid the targeting reticules before bopping Goliath with our club. This bit is laughably easy. At one point, Goliath did charge, and I think I should have jumped. With that done, we enter phase 2 of the fight. During the second phase, we need to jump to avoid Goliath when he slams the floor, as well as avoiding his lasers. After the lasers fire, if you're quick, you can shoot his hand with the slingshot, though it took me a little time to work this out despite the good old big green button appearing again. Finally, I started using my explosive rounds to f*** up his robot arms. It didn't take long at all to destroy them. In the last phase, Goliath shoots lasers from his head that make the floor fall away, so it's best to have the Skyflyer equipped, and it's also best to stay on the sides. The big green button saying, "Slap me," is on his chest this time. After a few more shots, I destroyed him on my first go. This isn't the true end though, and Specter escapes.
Next time, I won't fail!
And with that, Specterland pops. We're next given a mini happy ending, but of course the true tasks are still outstanding, as it's time to enter the second phase of this achievement run, collecting all the remaining monkeys and Specter Coins, and as if it was always meant to be, we're asked by the professor,
Use the time station to return to the past and check each era for any remaining monkeys on the loose. We can't leave any of them wandering around.
because we've effectively finished the game, we unlock our final gadget, which will make monkey seeking a lot easier. The magic punch allows us to hit through walls and shining surfaces. It's also a great complementary weapon to the stun club. I can think of a few people this would be useful on. With the training completed, we're back in Cryptic Relics to grab the remaining 3 monkeys and Specter Coin. There's nothing to collect in the first area, so I shot the hotties and passed the bridge. We want to enter this final door to clear out the area. As you can see, the magic punch makes quick work of some surfaces. After entering the door to the right, I punched out the platforms to snag the first remaining monkey. I climbed the pole in the same room and punched some creepers on my way to the second monkey. Using my RC car, I gave him a rude awakening and managed to snatch him through the fence. Next, I somehow managed to crush myself to death before nabbing a Specter Coin. With the final monkey left to get, I used my radar to locate him, but had to work out how to actually make it through. It turns out the magic punch is a bit shit at opening gates, so I switched back to my club so as not to get crushed. Next, I swam under and through to knock out the wall and hit the button which opened another gate. Moments later, back outside, we have to follow this narrow ledge along the wall before working along the ledges to jump up the cliffside, killing hotties as we go. The final monkey thankfully didn't see me, even though I was literally feet away from him, and with that I ended the stage to unlock Cryptic Relics Complete. Revisiting Crabby Beach, we're looking for just 3 more monkeys. As we explore, I'm reminded I could use a holiday, and we have to enter the second area to find the monkeys. We have to head along the pathway and past the falling floors to then either jump and hover over to the 2 monkeys on the other side, or wait for the button like I did. When I checked the remaining achievements, I missed one, and so this poor little monkey gets clobbered over the head 5 times before I catch him to unlock Shanking the Monkey. Poor thing must have a concussion from that. Switching to the slingback, I shoot the UFO repeatedly until it crashes and grab Monkey 2 before he knows what's hit him. The final monkey is back on the other side of the gap on a ledge up high, and it's easily caught to unlock Crabby Beach Complete. In Coral Cave, we're missing 3 more monkeys, so let's get to work. I began by trying to shoot the monkey off the shark, but of that failed, so I jumped in to get it the hard way. After being repeatedly bitten, Spike should be dead after that, I got him and headed up the slope. I used my club to lower the bridge and ran with my hoop, but when I arrived the monkey had disappeared. Another quick use of the radar and Kalama was now in the water, so I dived off and nabbed him with the water net. Onto the final monkey now, and it's the little bitch hiding in the turret. Armed with my magic punch, I beat the crap out of the turret and perform my final swoop to score Coral Cave complete. It's nice to see Natalie without resting bitch face, isn't it? We have a slightly bigger task in Dexter's Island as we're still missing 5 monkeys and 2 Specter Coins. I began by using the Sky Flyer to reach the boat, not realizing there's another way. I grab the next Specter Coin, and just as we do, the monkey practically runs into the net. Next, we smack through the wall to grab monkey number 2 before releasing a sea turtle which would have taken us to the boat if we'd needed. Regrettably, I have no choice but to punch Dexter to get back inside his body. When inside, it's time to get out the RC car again to frighten the monkey out of its hole, following it into the bile, stomach acid, and using the water net with 3 monkeys down already. It's time to face the tonsils, and I'm lucky to be able to score the next monkey without too much of a fight. Next, we need to head all the way through Dexter's body, so we head on and down the slide, grabbing the last Specter Coin here before continuing. Back up through the next lift and door, and we're getting nearer. We slap out the RC car to pass this door, then bypass the next area to go through this strange mini-boss fight. Punching the tentacles lowers the monkey in this bulbous thing, and after a few hits, we capture the final monkey for Dexter's Island complete. Snowy Mammoth has 1 monkey left, and you can guess where it is. I first tried punching the mammoth, but it doesn't exactly do much, so it's time for the slingshot again. A couple of well-placed hits, and I dashed in to net the slightly dazed monkey, unlocking Snowy Mammoth complete. That one didn't take long. Our next mission is to grab 3 more monkeys and a Specter Coin from Frosty Retreat. There's bugger all in this first area, so we head inside. Progressing through the cave and killing the freezers as we go, we climb up and work our way through the cave and past the boulders to the next area. I lose no time in destroying the cave's ecosystem before continuing through to the next part of the level, which is completely new to me. Avoiding the jellyfish, I dive underwater into the cave, accidentally startling the monkey. Moments later, I nab it on the way out before heading back to the main pool. It's time to get sticky. The monkey, and with a well-timed punch we get him. The last monkey is across the narrow walkway, but before I grab him there's the matter of finding the final Specter Coin first. I accidentally missed it earlier, so we head back past the boulders and down into a little pool off to the right here. The Specter Coin is tucked away in an alcove and fairly well hidden. That also marks our 50th coin for Spellector 5. Now it was just the case of crossing the earlier walkway, being careful not to get shot at before nabbing the monkey and unlocking Frosty Retreat Complete. Get your towel whip ready as we're now re-entering Hot Springs with 3 monkeys and 1 Specter Coin to locate this time. After nabbing some chips, we head left into the cave on the ground level. Inside the cave, we need to use our magic glove while avoiding the polar bears napping in the middle of each room. Thankfully, they're very slow, so not exactly a threat. Keep working through each room, breaking the ice until you enter this control room where a monkey and coin are located. After hitting the button to unlock the gate, the next monkey is in the very next room and is easily snuck upon. Unfortunately, the final monkey means climbing all the way to the top of that level again, so cue a little fast forward until we make it back to the hot springs, which genuinely took me nearly half a f***ing hour. Inside we find and catch Crank for Hot Springs Complete. At this point I checked my achievements and at only 46%, don't worry they'll come thick and fast now, I realised I still needed Speedy Spike for the Dimension X race in under a minute. There's no time like the present, so here we go. In my previous attempt I actually managed to lose this by 1/100th of a second. Make sure you go through the first gate and boost the whole way through the water. Don't worry about Jake, who will pull ahead. The only area of any bother is the lava pit. Just make sure that you double jump every time, particularly waiting till the last moment on each jump. If you jump as you end the slide, you'll get a handy little boost, and all that's left is a short swim and avoiding the spiked balls for a fairly easy time attack, unlocking Speedy Spike. Back to our level clear up now, and we move on to Sushi Temple, where we're missing 5 monkeys and a Specter Coin. Our first target is the monkey sitting above, so after punching the possessed looking bull, I get the slingshot and use an explosive round to knock it off. I had to give him a quick punch in order to grab him, the vicious little derp. I had to really play detective to work out the next monkey. Back in the well, I noticed this button and climbed and glided across to get a better vantage point. This moves the giant Spectre statue out of the way to reveal a secret room. A few swipes later and we grab him. This area clear, we return to the main temple as all of the remaining monkeys are inside. Eventually, I located a monkey sleeping on the statue and managed to grab him before he he caused too much damage. I then jumped up onto the statue's head for the Specter Coin and finally needed to climb and glide up onto the beams above for the 2 remaining monkeys. The Super Punch really does come in handy here, and mere moments later we've unlocked Sushi Temple Complete. Our next destination is Wabi Sabi Wall, and we're missing 2 monkeys and a coin. Nothing in the first area, so we pass through. Nothing in the second area either, and in the third we pass the giant saw and head to the fourth. Finally inside, and we have a monkey to catch. We head down into the bottom, killing the enemies as we go, and need the RC car to smack this bitch up. Not long after, it escaped the car, and I nabbed him before heading all the way back through and up the inside area to the next door. As we jump off the hanging bar, Fool runs inside like he did earlier. We have to head all the way around and up, and I get flattened on the way. It's time to head down from above, and cornered we catch him to unlock Wabi Sabi Wall Complete. But we're still missing 1 Specter Coin. This one was in the same area as Fool, but off to the right. You can't see it initially, but we have to jump and glide over to this area on the right. When up top, you can clearly see the coin, and so I jumped across to grab it before exiting the level. With Crumbling Castle, we're only missing 2 monkeys and a single coin. Both of the monkeys are on the outside actually. The first is outside the right side of the castle. After Spike is spotted, it actually runs away towards the Specter Coin. I catch him before falling to my death like a stupid clunge bucket. I head back to it second time around before navigating my way back to the main entrance. The last monkey is locked in a chest on the right tower. The quickest and easiest way to reach it is actually to return to the cliff on the right and make a big jump and glide over. It saves the hassle of navigating inside the castle, and with the monkey obtained, we unlock Crumbling Castle Complete. Onto City Park next, where we need 5 more monkeys and a single coin. Ignore the monkey up top and the coin, you can't get them yet. Trust me, I've tried everything. Instead, head up the stairs and inside. Make your way through as normal and around using the RC car when needed. We need to enter the big pipe again to reach our destination. After tackling the rolling barrels as gracefully as an ostrich on stilts, I accidentally discovered the next monkey and wasted no time in capturing him. Next, take the lift back up and head back across the barrels to the other side. I finally made it, only to die like a melt. As soon as we reach the water, the chase is on for the next guy, and in following him, I narrowly avoid death to grab both the monkeys up here. Heading across now to another pipe, we have to avoid the propeller blades. In the next area, jump up to where the chips are, and then jump away from the wall and back to reach the gun-toting monkey and capture him. Finally, head back and under the pipe to emerge right next to the initial Specter Coin and monkey. If I'd have known that earlier, I could have knocked a good 20 minutes off my time. With the coin snatched and the monkey banked, we unlock City Park Complete. Onto Specter's factory, and here we need 1 coin and 3 monkeys. You can make your way straight through the first tank areas, and in the second we have to activate the lift again, so head through the monkey door and not the door to the right like I did here. We need to go past the lava and use the 3 platforms again to jump up, and then head through to the higher up area. Activate the switch and drop down to hit the wheel before ascending again, and quickly pass over the bridge to the next room. Head past the boxes to the room with the spikes and wheels and carefully head across. Use the wheel to lower the huge pipe and jump in, riding it to the top. The Specter Coin is at the other end here. Back opposite the large pipe is a flashing wall you can punch through, and moments later Vanilla S is captured. Then head back and lower the pipe to cross to the final room. To get the guy string up top, we need to climb the conveyor belts and jump all the way to the top. I thought that was the last monkey, but it wasn't, so make your way across the top of the conveyor to the boxes for an ambush. Jump and dodge to avoid the attacks and hit from behind. With the Robo Chimp destroyed, we round up the final monkey for Specter's Factory Complete. We're getting closer to the end now, and next up is TV Tower, where we need a coin and 5 monkeys. The first monkey is outside to the left, it just needs a magic punch to obtain. Continue making your way through the level as earlier, taking the monkey door and heading across the tank room. Head left at the door where we fought the boss earlier and destroy the boxes to head uphill to a new area. Look to your left as we need to cross the pipe and punch the glass to hit a button. This extends a platform, and making our way to the opposite side of the room, several monkeys are on the scaffolding behind. It took me a few minutes to work out the easiest way to get them is simply to swing the net when close to them. After using this method to grab the next 2 monkeys, we then have to jump off at the end into the room below to grab another one. Again, I didn't realize, but you actually need to destroy the machine next to the monkey we just caught to turn off the fan so we don't die on the way down. After breaking the machine, we obtain the last monkey to finish the level, achieving TV Tower Complete, but we're still missing 1 well-hidden Specter Coin. To locate the final coin from the main entrance, head to the area behind the clock and hit the button to drain the pool. Head down and through the door. As you get down to the water, you need to jump up onto the right ledge and then again onto the pipes where the chips are. Follow the pipes and you'll soon find the coin around the corner. corner. Finally, in Monkey Madness, we're missing 4 monkeys and 3 Specter Coins. All of these are located within the final area, so head through the main doors. We first grab a Specter Coin on top of the teleportation device. There's a monkey in this area, but I missed it first time. Instead, I headed inside and used the Super Punch to score our first monkey. We hit the button near the RC car door, then head back to the main area to go through the next door into the yellow area and across the moving platform. Down the end of the corridor, there's a pad that takes us to the next monkey. Hidden sneakily behind is the second Specter Coin. After grabbing these, we drop down and head back through to the monkey door. Use the catapult to destroy the monkey face's red helmet in the next room, as there's a secret room hidden behind. In this room, we grab a monkey, a life, and the last Specter Coin, unlocking Specter 6. Honestly, this bloody level is a maze, and I spent ages looking for the final monkey. As I said before, I missed him outside, and he's high up near the crate of the castle left. Follow the metal pathway round to the right, taking the high path. A big jump and hover to the next bit, and with a little sneakery, we nab the final monkey of the game, unlocking Monkey Madness Complete. Thank f***. The professor tells us,
Spike, we found Specter.
And so before the time attacks, we enter the very last level, Peak Point Matrix.
So you finally come.
That's a bit personal, Specter. After a little arguing and Specter having a moan, it's time for a final showdown. In this battle, we need to jump and hover to avoid the explosions while hitting Specter with the slingshot in between. He can only be hit once before he teleports to a new area. Once he's been hit enough times, his chair explodes and it's a one-on-one. Avoid the energy balls, and when there's an opening, we use the Super Punch to damage him further. The more he's hit, the more his force field degrades, and soon he starts smoking. The first time he looks to be defeated, he isn't, and we can't catch him yet, so we have to do it all over again. When he falls on his arse, it's finally over, and we unlock Peak Point Matrix in the process. I won't spoil the final, albeit short scene, but instead we have the time attacks and minigames to go before Ape Escape is mastered. As we did the Fossil Field time attack earlier, we have Primordial Ooze to tackle first. We need to beat 35 seconds. Immediately nab the first monkey in front. Use the super hoop to double back and jump across the water. Race to the top of the hill to grab monkey 2, then jump and glide across to monkey 3. Finally, jump into the water to net monkey 4 for Primordial Ooze time attack.
I can't believe it!
Oh, f*** off, Natalie. We got this covered. Molten Lava's time attack is up next with an easily achievable 1 minute 15 seconds target. Begin by using the super hoop to head up the ramp. Note that collecting chips stops the clock. Jump behind the waterfall for the first monkey. Back out and across to monkey 2 before leaping up and heading to the pterodactyl's nest. Punch the eggshell to grab the monkey, then head to the T-Rex. Grab some chips and get the monkey on the ledge, then jump and use the net to grab the last monkey, unlocking Molten Lava time attack.
I can't believe it!
Believe it, Natalie? I feel like Natalie is aggravated by poor Spike's existence. Thick Jungle is next and 1 minute 30. Start by punching the plants on the way around, grabbing chips to freeze the clock before whacking the plant and ideally netting monkey number 1. Keep heading around to do the same for the second monkey, then use the super hoop to reach the turret monkey. Take the river to the right and swim to the surface, grabbing chips as you follow it around. Grab some more chips before punching a hole through the gate to grab monkey 4. In the next area, swim around and grab the chips, then head up the log and jump to net the last monkey. As you can see, I made loads of mistakes but still managed to get Thick Jungle time attack in the process. Dark Ruins time attack's target is 1 minute 20. Begin by immediately jumping up to the first monkey on the ledge. Jump back down and grab chips as you give chase to the second monkey. Use the super hoop and super punch to incapacitate Speedy Monkey 2. Jump up and over the wall to grab the third, then head back over the wall and up the steps and through the door. Again, use the hoop to grab the next monkey, and finally use the slingshot to shoot down the final monkey for a quick time, unlocking Dark Ruins time attack. Cryptic Relics time attack needs finishing in 1 minute 5. Begin by making your way across the rotating blocks inside, and when you reach it, push the block to open the gate to monkey 1. Punch a hole in the wall, then hit the switch and head inside. Punch through the gate, grabbing the next monkey, then head through the next door and use the stun club to break the pillar, giving access to the final monkey, unlocking Cryptic Relics time attack. Crabby Beach is up next and we have 1 minute and 10 seconds. Use the super hoop to zip to the hammock, grabbing monkey 1. Quickly nab monkey 2 and 3 by the sand castles. Head right to the next sunbathing monkey monkey, then head through the recently opened door. Use the Sky Flyer to get the next monkey, then head along the path and jump up on the right for the last monkey, unlocking Crabby Beach Time Attack. Coral Cave now and 1 minute 25. Head straight in and then out of the water to lower the bridge and make your way up and around to pass it. Monkey 1 can be caught without him even realizing. Dive into the water to grab Monkey 2 and the third on the shark. Finally, head underwater into the cave and use the vines to jump up to grab the last monkey, unlocking Coral Cave Time Attack. In Dexter's Island, we have 1 minute and 10 seconds. Start by using the Sky Flyer to the boat for the first monkey. Next, destroy the wooden wall to grab the second monkey before heading into Dexter's body. Head into the stomach acid and swim across to grab the last monkey near the tonsil things for Dexter's Island Time Attack. In Snowy Mammoth, we have 1 minute 15. Use the super hoop to race across the stage, grabbing the chips as you go and leading to the igloos. If you're quick, you can grab Monkey 1 before he has a chance to hide. Again, use the hoop, then drop down to smash the ice and grab the second monkey. Use the Sky Flyer and jump up and around the other side before using the hoop to head around the corner. Leap across the gap with the flyer and use the hoop to speed your way through the windy section. Lower the platform and jump up onto it, then up again to the next monkey. Then jump across to the other side to grab the last monkey, unlocking Snowy Mammoth Time Attack. Frosty Retreat needs completing in less than 1 minute 10. Begin jumping across the gap and grabbing the chips, then use the hoop to navigate the narrow platform around to the ice cave. Grab the first 2 monkeys and then head back around and up the cliffside into the door. Use the hoop to speed to the next monkey and then the Sky Flyer to jump up and over the cliff and spiked trap. Head to the right hand side, avoiding the boulder, and use the Sky Flyer to hop to the next bit and then head through the archway and jump high to grab the final monkey, obtaining Frosty Retreat Time Attack. Hot Springs time limit is 1 minute 15. Jump across the first couple of gaps and up high with the flyer before heading across to the ice bridge. Jump and use the flyer to get across and nab the first monkey. Grab the chips in the cave before running out and onto the ledge. Jump up high and catch Monkey 2 before falling to the floor, gracefully if you wish. Race to the next monkey and finally enter the water and swim into the cave to grab the final monkey, triggering Hot Springs Time Attack. Sushi Temple has a 55-second limit. Use the super hoop up the steps and quickly ambush Monkey 1 and 2 before they have a chance to react. Strike the third and net him while he's down. Shoot the monkey down from above and capture him before racing inside. Race to the giant statue to get the final monkey, unlocking Sushi Temple Time Attack. Booyah! Wabi Sabi Wall's up next with a time limit of 1 minute. Use the super hoop to quickly make it to the bridge and jump to glide across. Make another big jump to the other side and then use the hoop to reach the wooden platform. Navigate the rotating red platforms and jump up onto the grass to grab the first monkey. Take the platform back to the main area, but before you reach there, make a big diagonal jump and glide over to Monkey 2. Boff and net him, then grab some chips before climbing to the very top and use the rotating platform to jump over to the door to the next area. Inside, grab the first monkey you can to unlock Wabi Sabi Wall Time Attack. Now we have Crumbling Castle with a 45-second target. Smash some onions and grab chips on your way down to the first monkey. Use the hoop to speed along, then jump over the river and head up the side of the cliff for the second monkey. Finally, double jump and glide to the castle tower before punching the box and getting the final monkey, unlocking Crumbling Castle Time Attack. City Park is up next with a 35-second limit. Use the super hoop and go around the climbing frame, grabbing the chips, and go around the tree stump before jumping up to the boxing area to score monkey number 1. Use the super hoop to quickly head over to the bench, grabbing the final monkey, unlocking City Park Time Attack. Easy! Specter's Factory needs completing in under 1 minute 15. Use the hoop at the start and punch your way through the wall before using homing rockets to destroy the UFO and grab the first monkey. Punch the next walls and use the hoop to quickly nab Monkey 2 before he has a chance to escape. Use the hoop to head inside the door. Use the hoop to dash up the steps and across the following room through the door. In the next room, head left and punch the wall before capturing the monkey, unlocking Specter's Factory Time Attack. TV Tower is our penultimate time attack with a goal of 1 minute 5. Head left, being aware of the wall's huge hitbox, and punch the box to get the first monkey. Then jump up the steps and inside. Immediately head left to grab the next monkey before using the hoop into the hall and then the Sky Flyer to jump to the area behind the clock. Grab the sleeping monkey and hit the button, then head backwards and through the drained pool and through the door. In the next area, grab the chips as you make your way down to the pool and then jump onto the ledge to grab the final monkey, unlocking TV Tower Time Attack. Finally, the time limit for Monkey Madness is 1 minute. Use the hoop to race into Western Land. Use the flyer to jump jump up and nab the first monkey in any way possible. Switch to the slingshot and take out the remaining monkeys as they appear, netting them one by one, and with that we unlock Monkey Madness Time Attack. All that's left now are the mini games and we're done. First we're doing Ski Kids Racing. The skis are controlled with both analog sticks and it really isn't particularly difficult. Actually, the skis handle pretty well once you get the hang of it, making it a fun distraction. Use the qualifying session to get used to each new course and set the fastest time so you're in pole position for the race. Surprise, surprise, the beginner course is easy with gentle sweeping corners. If you do need to slow down at all, simply turn more sharply so that you don't lose much speed but can still slide around corners. After you've been skiing well for a while, the skis will change to purple and you'll be able to go even faster, though hitting the wall will slow you down again. With 4 laps of the easy course completed, we unlock Nobkey on Ice 1. Snowball Garden is honestly also pretty easy. Take a little time practicing to qualify. There are a couple of sharper bends in this one, so just make sure you turn super tight when you need to and try to avoid the trees as you head around the course. If you do need to turn very sharply, you can also keep the outside ski on the corner and let go of the inside ski analog stick. This will slow you down even more sharply. With that race 1, we unlock Nobkey on Ice 2. The last course is Snake River. This might take a little practice at first. In particular, some of the corners are quite tight and followed with narrower sections littered with large rocks. Try and find a decent and relatively straight line through and make sure you do slow down for the sharp S-bend before the final stretch. I'm sure you can get it quickly as it took me less than 10 minutes unlocking Nobkey on Ice 3. Next I started to tackle Specter Boxing. Holy f***. Strap yourself in because you'll either fly through or struggle for ages like I did. In particular, some of the comments mentioned 2 different methods which work to varying degrees for me at least. I took this video so you can see the 2 techniques. The first is alternating forward and back but slightly angled inwards left-right punches to obliterate the competition before they get a shot in. This worked for me at first, but the later monkeys are so aggressive I had to resort to the second technique. The second technique involves holding one glove down and close to the center and focusing on rhythmically attacking with just one glove. I did find using this and switching sides more effective with the more aggressive monkeys. But man, this minigame can go f*** itself. Honestly, it just feels so random and cheap, and my poor Steam Deck really took a beating. I can still hear that f***ing music in my head right now. My thumbs were cramping and I had to take regular breaks so as not to lose my shit completely. Here you can see me earning my Nobkey is Fight 1 and my Nobkey is Fight 2. I feel like the game hated me at this point as I hit a brick wall. Nothing seemed to get me through and I had to rage quit to try the final minigame Galaxy Monkey to preserve my own sanity. Galaxy Monkey is actually a pretty cool little twin stick wave shooter and I actually really enjoyed this one. My only tip is to keep moving, and obviously the red areas at the edge of the screen warn you of incoming enemies. It's really easy to unlock Nobkey in Space 1 for beating the default score. My next goal was to do the time attack. As long as you're aggressive, this one is also pretty straightforward. 100,000 points sounds like a lot, but after surviving 3 minutes you're given a points bonus at the end, making the score easy to achieve. The main barrier is surviving for 3 minutes, and I'm hardly a pro at twin stick shooters as I barely ever play them, and I managed it at around 20 minutes unlocking Nobkey in Space 2. The hardest achievement in Galaxy Monkey is to clear 50 stages in normal play, but honestly with a bit of practice you will get it eventually. The enemy waves repeat fairly frequently, so just learn their behavior and ensure you grab every power-up. If you do lose a life, focus on the enemies more likely to drop power-ups and you'll be back to full power quickly. This took me a few goes, but I scraped through. Nobkey in Space 3 will trigger as soon as you hit stage 51. And finally we return to the most god-awful achievement I've ever done. It isn't the fault of the set creator, it's just a f***ing shit minigame and so rage-inducing and took several hours to do. Achievements should always be based on skill, and this one just felt like luck. Like bad f***ing luck most of the time. In any case, when I finally did it unlocking my Nobkey is Fight 3, I fist pumped the air as Ape Escape is mastered. Thank God I'll never have to do that wretched minigame again. Unless I try On the Loose on PSP, of course. Thanks for watching, and please check out my Spyro, Croc and Crash videos if you haven't already, and remember, retro always rules.